All right, let's move into reading. Back into the one and only Ivan. And did we just start this yesterday? This group of chapters? Was that just yesterday? Okay. So we did the quick write. We completed the vocabulary. Oh, you still had a couple more, right? Okay. We did the sequencing though. We have not done the theme about the important lesson from these chapters. We did 1 and 2. We haven't done 3 yet. How can you tell that George and Julia genuinely care about the animals? Why does George feel like he can't help Ruby? And we have not done what is the most memorable moment from these chapters, just what you think is the most memorable moment. So we're getting closer to being finished with these. That's a good thing because we're getting close to being finished with this group of chapters also. All right, so we're ready to start on page 154, Poor Mac. We only have 6 more pages to read. All right, poor Mac. Mac groans. He stumbles to his feet and hobbles off toward his office. Ruby watches him leave. I can't read her expression. Is she afraid? Relieved? Proud? When Mac is gone, George and Julia lead Ruby from the ring. It's okay, baby. It's okay, Julia says, stroking Ruby's head. They settle Ruby into her domain and make sure she has fresh water and food. Before long, Ruby's dozing. Dad, Julia asks as George locks Ruby's iron door. Do you think Mac would ever hurt Ruby? I don't think so, Jules, George says. At least I hope not. Maybe we could call someone. George scratches his chin. I wish I could help Ruby, but I don't know how. I mean, who would I call? The elephant cops? Besides, George looks down. I need this job, Jules. We need this job. Your mom, the doctor bills. He kisses the top of Julia's head. Back to work, you and me both. Julia sighs and reaches for her backpack. She removes a piece of paper, a bottle of water, and a small metal box. Homework first, George says, wagging a finger. Then you can paint. It's for art class, Julia explains. We're doing watercolors. I'm going to paint Ruby. George smiles. All right then. Just don't forget your spelling. Dad, Julia asks again, did you see Mac's face when Ruby hit him? George nods. Yes, he says solemnly. I did. He shakes his head. Poor Mac. He turns away, and only then do I hear him laughing. Why would George be laughing? You think Mac deserved it? Anybody else think Mac deserved it? Yeah. So George thought that was kind of funny that Ruby did that to him because of what Mac was doing to Ruby, right? What do you think? Is that what you were thinking too? Yeah. All right, the next chapter is colors. Julia opens the metal box. I see a row of little squares. Green, blue, red, black, yellow, purple, orange. The colors seem to glow. She pulls out a brush with a thin tuft of a tail at its end. She dips the brush in water and wets the paper, then taps at the red square. When the brush meets the damp paper, pink petals of color unfurl like morning flowers. I can't take my eyes off that magical brush. For a moment, I'm not thinking about Ruby and Mac and the claw stick and Stella. Almost. Julia touches red again, then blue, and there suddenly is the purple of a ripe grape. She touches the blue, and her paper turns to summer sky. Black and white, and now I see that she is painting a picture of Ruby. I can make out her floppy ears, her thick legs. Julia stops painting. She takes a few steps back, hands on her hips, gazing at her work. She scowls. Show me a scowl. It's not right, she says. She glances over her shoulder at me. I try to look encouraging. Julia starts to crumple up the paper, then reconsiders. Instead, she slides it into my cage at the spot where my glass is broken. Here you go, she says. A Julia original. That'll be worth millions someday. Gingerly, I pick up the paper. What does it mean to pick something up gingerly? What do you think it means? Raylin?
Touching it slowly.
Slowly and carefully, softly. All right. I do not eat a single bite of it. Oh, hey, I almost forgot. Julia runs to her backpack. She pulls out 3 plastic jars. 1 yellow, 1 blue, 1 red. What do you think it is? Finger paints. She opens the jar, and an odd, not food smell hits my nose. Julia pushes the jars, one by one, through the opening. Then she slides some paper through. These are called finger paints, she says. My aunt gave them to me, but really, I'm too old for finger painting. I stick a finger into the red jar. The paint is thick as mud. It's cool and smooth, like bananas underfoot. I pop my finger into my mouth. It's not exactly ripe mango, but it's not bad. Julia laughs. You don't eat it, you paint with it. She grabs a piece of paper and presses her fingers on it. See? Like this. I place my finger on a piece of paper. I lift it, and a red mark is there. I get a bigger glob from the pot and slap my hand down on the page. When I pull my hand off the paper, its red twin stays behind. What does that mean? It's red twin. Connor?
The thumb.
Yeah, like whatever, like he slapped his hand down, right? So what's the red twin on the paper? Like his handprint. This isn't like the ghostly handprints on my glass, the ones my visitors leave behind. This handprint can't be so easily wiped away. All right, that was chapter 72.
What?
So we're through all of the chapters in this group. So let's take a look at question 3 on slide 2. How can you tell from what we read that George and Julia genuinely care about the animals? So think about what they did, what they said, the conversation that they had. How can you tell that they really, truly care about those animals in that mall? Type your answer. And then answer, why does George feel like he can't really help Ruby? So there's 2 things you're answering. So how many answers should you have? 2. Okay. Then you're going to write about what the most memorable moment was for you from these chapters? What part did you like the best? Or maybe there was a part that made you kind of sad that was most memorable. Maybe you thought a part was kind of funny in these group of chapters. All right. Then you can finish the vocabulary. There's just 2 left because we went over the other 2. I would use your paper to help you possibly with that. And what's an important lesson that somebody could learn from these chapters? Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Like thinking about this part of the book that we read. Would a lesson be to give up easily on people?
No.
No. Would it be unkind to animals?
No.
No, those wouldn't be lessons. What might be a lesson from this group of chapters, Raylin?
Like taking care of the animals.
Okay, to take care and be kind to them. What are you thinking?
Don't hurt the animals because they might hurt you.
Ah, okay. Paybacks can be a booger, huh?
Don't threaten the dogs with a caustic.
Okay.
Like kind of how Natalia says. Like they can
Kind of what
do
Natalia
it.
said. What's that?
Like if you be mean to them, they like keep that memory in there.
Okay.
So
If you're mean to something or someone, they might retaliate.
Yeah.
Okay. Amy?
Be responsible with the things you do.
Be responsible with the things you do. Okay.
Don't threaten animals.
Don't threaten animals. All right. I like all of your thinking. Okay, so whatever you think the lesson is, because can different people have different ideas of what a lesson would be from what we read? Yeah, and that's okay. But then explain why you think that that's a lesson to learn from there. Think about what happened in the story that made you think, oh, that's a good lesson to learn. Raylin? All right, any questions about what you'll be completing? Yes.
When we get done with the number 3 and the beyond and the vocabulary, do we do the theme one?
Yes. I'm going to have you finish all of this up on both slides and then turn it in. Okay, so make sure you submit that, turn it in, whatever it's called. I can't think today. Is it turn in?
Yeah.
Okay. Amy?
Can we look back in the book?
Definitely look back in the book. Yes. All right, any other questions? Once you finish, just read your chapter book that you have while others finish their Ivan workup. Okay?